Presence and being present is, especially within the spiritual field, for most people almost like a no-brainer. It is something that you can recommend anyone in any situation, because being present is always good. Or is that actually true? Or are those people actually not too much in their head? So the term no-brainer is not even fully accurate. The point that I want to make is not that I'm against presence, or that presence in itself is something bad, or something that has any negative impact. But the problem that often emerges comes rather from a wrong understanding, or a way in which we use this term that is actually not referring to what we actually want to refer to. So to make it concrete, and for this it is really important that you first understand how presence or awareness actually functions, more in a general sense. Because when we are present, what happens then? When someone is truly present, they are aware. So their attention and their consciousness moves into their perception. So they are able to perceive the world around them. And this means the objective world around them. And it gives them kind of a connection to receive this feedback from the outside world. And this is a very positive thing. But when someone is not connected to their inner nature within, to their emotions and to their subjective realm as well, so meaning to their inner values, to their inner sense of past and future, because our subjective world, our internal world, is that what we would call our mind, or the story that we tell ourselves. Or actually the word mind is not accurate here. It is this subjective inner world that our mind attaches to. So it is our emotional realm. The mind and the mental realm is actually that what we refer to when we speak about this connection to the outer world mainly. But our mental realm can actually connect to both. But to make it easy, let's say our mind is what connects to anything in an objective sense, in this mental way of logic and ratio. And let's say our inner connection is more emotional. And let's just have this distinction between those two. What often happens is that when someone is truly present, they really move into this mental realm within the outside world. So they are very objective. They are in their senses. They perceive. But when this connection to the inner world is missing, so when this connection to, one could say, to what one's heart, to one's values, to one's subjective inner emotions, to one's soul is missing, what then happens is that someone is not able to connect to their identity, to their core identity, which is one's past, nor to their future. Because the future is also something that is highly subjective. Because the subjective realm, this realm that involves this sense of past and future, is actually very subconscious. It is something that we know about nothing. Because what we perceive outside of ourselves, or what we know internally, these are things that we are conscious of. These are things that we connect in an objective way. But what often happens with people, especially who are in the spiritual field, is that they become so strongly fixed and attuned to their senses and to their perception of the world around them that they find this inner peace. They are able to be totally calm, to just sit still, and they are also able to look that peaceful. But the problem is that this emotional world internally is totally suppressed, or at least to big or huge parts. And what that creates is that these people, even if they have this peace, they often tend to speak ill about concepts like desire, or having fun, having joy, and enjoying life. They are not necessarily apathic, because apathic means that someone is just somewhere else, but they are quite they are so much in their objective realm, and maybe in a very accurate way of perceiving things around them, but they are not able to fully empathize with other people, and their understanding, even if it is objective and conscious, is not always the solution, or does not always create the solutions that serve other people in the best way. And what this also does is that it creates all those kind of advice that we often hear from people who are spiritually inclined, or people who are in this religious field, that things like desires, or sexuality, or everything that brings fun and brings joy, actually is something, or that this would be something shameful, or something that is, in some sense, something lower, or something that is, bringing someone into misery. And this is actually not true, because of course it's not good to follow one's desires blindly, but we need both. We need a balance between our conscious awareness and our desires and our emotional world, because when we are aware, our subconscious, our emotional world is in control. And if we suppress it, this is actually when the problems arise. But the most tragic thing is that someone who follows a philosophy like this, loses their connection to feel joy, and to feel this connection to their soul, because no matter what philosophy we take on, it always has an influence on us, because it also shapes the world, or it shapes the way in which we see the world, because our values always also define through which standards and through which filters we see the world around us. When someone comes into a crisis, it often happens that they find or seek some way out of it. And it can really create this kind of a hero's journey, that someone tries to regain their full self-agency and self-empowerment that they have lost at some point in their lives. And especially after a crisis, when this power loss or deficit is very strong. But at some point they have to take the full responsibility for their life, and at that point it can also feel that they have to start fully focus on the world around them and to perceive things objectively. And this can also create this sense of being too much, or being very present, but losing this, this joy, losing this connection to one's soul, because now one has to take care of others and of the world around oneself. And even if one still takes care of oneself physically, this can still mean that the soul isn't happy. So what to do then in such a situation? And the best thing here that you can do is to realize that even if future and past are something subjective, and even if it is not about becoming whole again, because one is coming from a place of lack, but one can still, while being, while feeling full and complete, one can still be able to be connected to a certain goal and to one's identity. So the goal into the future and the identity in the past. So and the identity is always connected to certain values which one can find in one's sense of past. So one's standards define the future, one's values define the past. And one can be connected to both at the same time while being in flow and while being present and acknowledging and being aware and noticing the world around oneself. And everything is actually possible at the same time. And someone who's just spiritual and is just present and now becomes full again and is no longer in this victim state and takes responsibility, but does not have this inner connection to one's identity or to one's standards and to a better future, to a vision within the future, they are just stagnant. Even if they are aware, they are not really changing anything. They lack motivation, they lack higher standards, and they lack a reason to live for. And this is what I want to give you by this video: the ability to hold everything at once, at the same time, to be connected to your past and your values, to your standards and your future, and to be in this flow, to be identified with the present moment, which is always in flow, and still be present and aware and noticing all the information that is coming in from around you. And this will make that you are not only caught up in your mental realm, but you are also able to have a soul that is joyful. And if you like this video, just give this video a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button to support me and this channel. Bye.